The Soyuz is a Russian spacecraft that can fit a crew of 3 on board. It is launched aboard a massive rocket, which is called the Soyuz rocket. In this video, I'll show you how this rocket is launched into orbit around the Earth. We'll see the launch site in Kazakhstan, launch day preparations, and then their 9-minute journey into space. At the end of this video, I'll show you how the Soyuz spacecraft safely brings the crew back home. The Soyuz rocket is launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. On our globe, let's come over here to look at Europe and Asia. This is Russia. It's the largest country in the world. Mission control is in Moscow, Russia. The launch actually takes place right below, in the country of Kazakhstan. So why does Russia launch from a different country? When the Baikonur Cosmodrome was first built in the 1950s, these two countries were part of the Soviet Union. The launch site has been in use ever since then. The other reason has to deal with a little bit of physics. Let me explain. The best place to launch a rocket is right along the equator. Anywhere along here, the Earth is spinning at about 1,670 kilometers per hour. This means that a rocket launching to the east gets a free speed boost. You still get that speed boost when you are further away from the equator, it's just not as much. If you look at where Russia is, it's not very close to the equator. This is part of the reason why they still launch out of Kazakhstan. The rocket gets a little more of a speed boost. The Soyuz rocket is about 50 meters tall. The Soyuz spacecraft is hidden inside at the very top. This covering is called the launch shroud. This whole rocket is assembled just a few kilometers away from the launch pad. First, we start with the Soyuz spacecraft inside building 254. There are lots of tests to make sure it works correctly here on the ground. Then the Soyuz spacecraft is turned on its side and loaded into the launch shroud. Remember, this is the part of the rocket at the very top. This is all transported next door to building 112. This is where the Soyuz rocket is assembled in the horizontal position. The rocket is then transported to the launch site on a small train. This process is called a rollout, and it happens 2 or 3 days before the launch. The train moves slow enough that you could walk right next to it. It takes only a few hours to reach the launch pad. There are red protective coverings inside of each rocket engine. These will be removed shortly before the liftoff. The rocket and the train will slowly pull up right up next to the launch pad. Then the next step is to lift the Soyuz rocket up into the vertical position. 4 support trusses grab hold of the rocket to secure it in place. Then the 2 umbilical towers to supply power and fuel. And then the service towers, which rotate right up next to the side of the rocket. You can see how it has several levels to access different parts of the rocket while on the launch pad. Just for